Dear students, in this video, I am going to discuss network externalities. So, what are network externalities? So, before starting network externalities, we have to discuss what is law of demand. Okay, law of demand states that there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded of a commodity. Okay. And law of demand have a very important assumption, that is one person's demand for a particular commodity will not be affecting the demand of other person. For example, Tom's demand for coffee depends on Tom's taste and income and price of coffee and perhaps price of tea also, but it does not depend on Prem's demand for coffee. Okay, so this is the assumption that traditional demand theory has. When this assumption is violated, we have the situation that one person's demand is affecting other person's demand. And basically this kind of situation, we call it as network externalities. And network externalities, we can divide it into two. First one is positive network externalities. Positive network externalities basically when the purchase of one particular commodity by some consumers increases leads to increase in demand for other consumers. Okay, so that is positive network externalities. And what is negative network externalities? Negative network externalities when the purchase of one particular commodity increases, that leads to reduction in demand for other consumers, and that is called as negative network externalities. And one of the example of positive network externality is bandwagon effect. So bandwagon effect is basically an example of positive network externality. And for example, social media, we can take the example of Instagram. If only you are using Instagram, you might not be very much interested to download this application and use Instagram. It's only because more people are in Instagram, you are basically using Instagram. Okay. So that is an example of bandwagon effect. It is basically to be in style or in fashion because everyone is doing that and you are just following that. Okay. That is bandwagon effect. And when it comes to negative network externality, we can divide negative network externality into two examples. First one is snob effect, and second one is Veblen effect. Snob effect is basically the desire of people or consumers to hold some things that is unique. Okay, so we have a desire to hold some rare precious metals or stones. That is basically snob effect. Okay, so our demand increases for that particular commodity because very few people are holding this particular commodity. That is snob effect. And second one is Veblen effect, which was basically introduced or propounded by Thorstein Veblen, a famous economist. And according to Thorstein Veblen, some people show off to other people that they can afford some particular kind of commodities, even if there are some close substitutes available which are much cheaper than the particular commodity. Okay. So that is basically called as Veblen effect. So these are basically network externalities.